Hello, hello. If you are hearing this message in recording, it meant that unfortunately I do have a family matter that we had to address. And so, if you're a praying person, I do ask that you pray for my family during this time and my mother's health. So, it's much appreciated. But here's the thing: today, we're going to be talking about AI in action. You're going to be hearing from some amazing speakers, and each and every one of them are going to bring so much value into you can position yourself and to utilize AI as a tool. For myself, I'm Robert Wall. I am the founder of the Branding Collaborative. I also created a method called the Universal, spelled YOU, the Universal Brand Alignment. And I've incorporated some of that into today's talk. I'm also a realtor here in the upstate, Robert Wall Realty, licensed with the Ponce Realty Group. And so we use AI not just for ourselves and both sides of the company, but with all of our clients, our clients as well. But here's what I found, and it's why I felt that this topic was so important today. AI is only as good as the information that you feed it. So if there's garbage in, you're going to get garbage out. And also, in most cases, if it's robotic commands, that's where most people get this impression that AI is not a good tool because you lose your authenticity. And so hopefully the basis of what I'd like to just leave you with today is that it all starts with clarity. So AI clarity, right? If you've got good content and it understands exactly who you are on the front end, then the better chance you have for it to be a very useful tool and for it to sound, feel, look just like you do face to face. So let's talk about AI clarity, right? AI without clarity, it's absolute chaos. Everyone's talking about AI like it's the next savior in business. But here's the truth: I've seen across real estate, retail, coaching, corporate boardrooms that AI, it doesn't fix confusion, it actually only multiplies it. If your message is muddy, then absolutely your AI will just create more muddy content. If your brand is scattered, your automation will simply scale the chaos that you've created. You see, the problem, very much so, the problem isn't just technology, the problem is the mirror. So I'm going to be talking a great deal about that today. You see, AI in this particular situation, it is the mirror, one that reflects back exactly what's in front of it. So if there's no clarity in who you are, who you serve, what you stand for, your purpose, your core positioning values, then the reflection will always remain blurry. So the real pain is, doing more and getting less. Most of us can experience that on a day-to-day basis. Most business owners today are just exhausted and burnt out. You've got 10 tabs open, and don't pretend like you don't, because I have about that many open right now on my screen. You have 5 social platforms begging for content, and you have endless gurus all across social media telling you just to post more. But here's the thing: you're producing content, but you're not connecting. You're automating, but you're not aligning. And you're building systems, but unfortunately, you're not building significance. You see, that, my friends, is market overwhelm. But overwhelm is not the disease, it's actually the symptom. The disease is misalignment. That's what we focus on a great deal at the Branding Collaborative, helping you realign before you actually automate. Because here's the thing: when your heart, your mind, and your soul are clear, then finally your strategy works. So let's talk about alignment just a little bit more before you dive into automation. When we talk about brand alignment, we're not just talking about fonts and logos. We're talking about the alignment of four major things: mindset, heart set, soul set. Those make up who you are. And then we layer in skill set, right? The things that you're good at, the products and services that you're bringing to the table. And of course, once those things are in alignment, then it's very important to find out who you should be serving or who you wish to serve. And are you showing up in a way that resonates with them? Without the alignment, AI becomes nothing more than just an echo chamber. But with it, AI becomes a force multiplier of your mission. So before you ask, because most people do when I talk about this subject, what prompts should I be using? Let's first start with what message am I giving AI to reflect? And is that image truly reflecting me? Let me give you a couple real world examples. In real estate, for instance, so many people spend hours writing listing descriptions, crafting social captions, manually following up with leads. But with a clarified brand voice, that focus on relationships before transactions could actually sound like you. So AI needs to understand that. And that was my mission. How do I sound? How do I come across as relationships being more important than transactions? Excuse me. So I literally gave it those values. I wanted AI to sound just like me. I gave it values of integrity, transparency, service, and heart. And suddenly, listings started to feel human again. AI didn't replace me or my clients, it actually amplified our voice. It gave me time back to do what automation can't: build real relationships. Another case study, same thing in the coaching business. I used to spend hours rewriting captions, emails, podcast notes. It goes on and on. Now, I feed AI a clear brief that includes my tone, my mission, and my story. And here's the key: AI, it can't create authenticity. I'm going to say that again, because if you read this, then it's just false. AI cannot create authenticity, but it can amplify it. So I tell it things like, you are Robert Wall, you're a coach who teaches alignment through heart, mind, and soul. Many other layers to that. Write this prompt to inspire entrepreneurs to pause and to find clarity before they begin to scale. You see, AI, it does the heavy lifting, but the direction, it still has to come from my clarity. And you'll hear me talk about that again and again. We're trying to create clarity on the front end as you start to build out your AI. And by the way, whether you're someone that is brand new and you're just starting to build out your AI, or you've been doing this for a long time, you can still go back in and reprogram it to teach a little bit more about your heart, your mind, your soul, and kind of the purpose behind your mission. I have a technique that I've been using for many years called the mirror method, but I'm going to apply it in this particular case. And so let's talk about this mirror moment. I want you all here today to just imagine standing in front of a mirror, right? The mirror doesn't lie. It doesn't create something new. It simply shows you what's already there. You see, that's AI. If you feed it confusion, you'll get chaos. If you feed it clarity, you'll get confidence. AI is not your replacement. It's actually your reflection, especially if it's done properly. So here's the shift. You have to know yourself. You have to know your audience. True AI power isn't just about prompts. It's about people. It's about understanding who you are and who you're actually speaking to, because alignment isn't just one way. It's a bridge between your authenticity and your audience's needs. So there's many different tools out there. In fact, there's hundreds of tools out there that help us understand more about ourselves, right? We've got DISC, we've got Enneagram, we've got Myers-Briggs. Those are just a few. I have researched a ton of them over the years, but I found one specifically that really resonated with me, and they just happen to be someone that I do a great deal of collaboration with. This powerful tool used for branding is called BANK. It's an acronym, BANK. If you've never heard about them, definitely Google them. They're one of the, Fortune 500 companies for a while there, and they're all across the world with their products and services. But anyways, so I use BANK. You can use many other methods, but it helps you understand not just who you are, but how you connect. And BANK, in this case, it's blueprint, values, structure, trust, right? Action is the A. Loves excitement, loves speed, nurturing, thrives on purpose and relationships, and knowledge. That's the K. Knowledge, it seeks logic and understanding. And when you know your code and your client's code, you stop speaking into the void and you actually start speaking into the hearts. So, what a great place to start with this. It's a simple free test that takes 90 seconds, at least just the basic version of it. And I'm giving that for you today just to try out. And I'd love to follow up and hear back from each and every one of you so that we can dive in a little bit deeper in helping you create this AI clarity blueprint. But the code is go to crackmycode.com. That's crackmycode.com/brand you. That's BRANDYOU. Crackmycode.com/brand you. It's absolutely free. It takes about 90 seconds. In fact, do it tonight. You may even be able to do it if you have a break in today's event before the day's over. So discover your code and then teach your AI to speak your language, because clarity isn't found in the algorithm. It's found in alignment. And when you're in full alignment, everything in your life and business begins to scale. So here's some closing takeaways. Clarity comes before content. Don't start with prompts, actually start with purpose. Another one, AI is a mirror, not just a magician. It reflects what's in front of it, so make sure that reflection is aligned. And 3, alignment creates amplification. When your message is clear, AI becomes your voice, not your replacement. And 4, know yourself and your audience. So you can start using tools like this BANK, for instance, helping you bridge the gap between authenticity and connection. See, marketing overwhelm is the symptom. AI clarity is the cure. And I thank you so much. And by the way, you see here on the screen that there is a takeaway. So please use this information. I've also not only included the crackmycode.com/brand you once again, but I've also included 5 AI prompts that I think work pretty good for aligned marketing. And I use those with my clients. And if you'd like to learn even more information after today's event, then reach out to myself and my team at brandingcollaborative.com. That's brandingcollaborative.com. Enjoy the rest of the event and the speakers. I appreciate each and every one of you. And again, if you're a praying people, please throw my mother up in prayers. God bless.